free time should start watching World Juniors a lot more since this team is the way it is, and look forward to the future with the Preds prospects that they have on the depth chart to keep me from going batshit crazy. I'd be up for that. You ever just want to get down on one knee and thank the hockey gods upstairs that Phil Forsberg is a Nashville Predator? Hey everybody, it's Jersey Guy. Hold my beer. Are you sure you want me here? Hat-trick watch anybody? Is it maybe somewhere that we owe a massive debt to the hockey gods? Again and again and again. You're like a kid again, Johnny. Is happening? Is this happening? Is this happening? This isn't an ad for some dang cookie. I want a piece of that action. Well, you don't have to tell me twice. What do you have to tell me that is going to make me feel positive? And maybe the Titans won't let us down on Thursday. Preds, walk it off! Okay, on with Johnny's reaction video.
Redemption take you home.
Preds lose 3-0 to the Winnipeg Jets in Canada Life Centre in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Monday night. 37 games into the season, and the mediocrity continues. The Preds have been shut out 6 times this season and are on pace to tie a franchise record for the most times being shut out in a single damn season. You know when that was that they set that single season record for most times shut out in a single season? Think way back. No, it wasn't the 2010s. No, it wasn't the late 2000s after the 04-05 lockout. Go a little bit more, a little further back. The 2000-2001 season, they were shut out 12 times in 82 games. Their third season, way back when they were still considered an expansion team, and a stat like that was acceptable. They have no excuse with this roster and what they did in the offseason to suck this damn bad. 2 games into this road trip, and they have scored an average of 2 goals a game. I'll honestly be shocked if by the end of it, they crack 15 goals on the road trip. Updated stats through 37 games, this team has scored an average of 2.37 goals a game, and they have now lost 21 games where they have scored less than 3 goals in the game. For a season total, they've scored 88 goals this season through the 37 games that I mentioned. They are tied for league worst with Anaheim, who have also scored 88 goals. But you know what they have on the Preds? They've only played in 35 games. So they still have a chance to overtake the Preds and keep us as the lowest scoring team in the league. Everybody on this team stinks. Well, maybe not Marchessault, because even though his point streak ended tonight, he'd been on a pretty good tear. And maybe not Sarles, because except for St. Louis and the Pittsburgh game, he's been playing pretty rock solid. And the way he performed tonight, he deserved a better effort with a win. I'm glad this was pointed out. Like a hammer again. Phil, where are you, buddy? You haven't scored a goal in 15 games. What are they paying you for? This has got to be a franchise drought for you, right, Phil? As for this game and how it adds to the already lackluster, mediocre season that the Preds are trudging through, they failed to get double digits in shots in any period this game. Hey, props to the Jets, but I still like to blame the Preds more for not getting more shots. Would have probably created more offense and more chances to score. This team continues to struggle on the power play, going 0 for 2, and the league best penalty kill somehow still was that coming into this game. Maybe they survived and are still there. I wouldn't be surprised if they fell to second after killing the first 3 penalties that they had to kill in this game when they needed to kill the most, being down 1-0 to the Jets in the third. Jeremy Lauzon first, his 3rd penalty of the game, and then a stupid bench minor, the tail of the tape of the Preds this season, creating a 5-on-3 opportunity for the Jets, and they score on both, putting this game to bed and out of reach. I want to give everyone out there who's watching this, who may be a Preds writer, professional or not, feel free to take this for free from me. The tail and headline on your stories when the Preds officially are eliminated from the playoffs, which it won't take until game 80, 81, when was it? during that season before Bruno took over that they had missed the playoffs? No. The tail of the tape, your headline should be too many men on the ice. After tonight's game, this team will go south to St. Paul to play the Minnesota Wild tomorrow night on New Year's Eve, a Wild team that will be rested and isn't playing the second half of a back-to-back. And then after that, this team heads to Canada for 3 games. A back-to-back is planted in there, including finishing off the road trip back in Winnipeg for another beating before they probably go home. I really can't believe that this season isn't even half over yet. Former Preds radio host, somebody, if I can say so, who needs to be back on the airwaves, who I appreciate dearly and I consider a friend, Darren McFarland, was telling me tonight that a Preds fan reached out to him and predicted that this road trip was where the Preds were going to go on a heater and make something of this season. He had this reaction, and I have this reaction, hearing about him having this reaction. We're basing this on what? What from nearly halfway through the season tells you, anyone in this fan base who's watching my videos, tells you that this team is all of a sudden going to flip the switch and go on a tear and hardly ever lose and somehow grab one of the last 2 wildcard spots. The 2024-2025 Nashville Predators have long passed the mile marker that the St. Louis Blues of 2018-2019 had hit when they started winning. The Nashville Predators are not winning the Cup this year, and they are not even making the playoffs this year. All right? And yes, just like the football team across the Cumberland River, this hockey team is not going to lose on purpose. There's jobs on the line on this roster. But for the future of that team at One Titan Way across the Cumberland River, and that hockey team that plays at 501 Broadway, don't blame the fan base for hoping this team continues to lose like they are, so that the football team and the hockey team can both end up with quality top 5 lottery picks. More misery to come is the answer, Preds Nation. Don't screw this up, Preds, by going on somewhat of a heater and screw up you getting a strong draft pick come June, and instead get somewhere in the lower teens mid-range. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, it's nice to know I don't have to suffer through all this misery by myself. Preds Nation, who come to this channel for therapy, and other fan bases who come to this channel for a laugh. Hit like if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media as always and interact with me during every Preds game by clicking on the channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. And honestly, I gotta feel some semblance of good, that it can only get better from here. Once the season concludes, of course, because we don't want this team to go on a tear and screw up future planning.